opportunity for them to prove themselves. And Runner is looking to get right into the action, already swinging in for one, but the returns are clearly in favor of FUT. A double kill on the Classic for the IGL of MrFaliN, and FUT are on their way to the A site, which is wide open.
So he's someone that, again, I want to highlight going into this matchup because I still remember going back to the qualifiers, Rebel Homeground. This is probably his best map. They haven't been playing it. They didn't play it at kickoff. They didn't play it previously in the last couple of weeks. But this is a map where I feel like MrFaliN thrives. It's a map where if cNed wasn't playing it yet, I think we'd be losing our minds. Well, for now at least. For the side of Vitality, to try and get anything in this round is going to be difficult. The post plant on the A site. Both players looking to come from above. No utility that holds much value. You could throw out Timmy as a distraction, but you'd lose the element of surprise. Well, they're going to hear the player jump up. They're going to know that he's there, or at least have a decent idea. They're all trapped in a corner, but you still got to watch out.
Building up the confidence. Leading by example is a big factor for some of these teams. You look at Navi, Angel, not last match, but before that, actual reveal. But I like that once he spotted Runner, he knew Runner's going to dash. He predicted it almost perfectly, but was just a little bit away. Runner's reactions kept him alive for this fight later on as AtaKaptan's fallen, but FUT weren't looking to take this to A. They've kept 3 players on that site. We'll look to cut off rotations with yetujey. They're very fragmented.
Yeah, yetujey really needs to find something. I think having this Guardian from this position, not ideal, but nobody actually checking for it. They've still got to clear the guy at the backside, though. trexx, there's only 6 seconds. If he can kill the planter, he actually wins the round, but he's unable to. They get that spike plant down, and the trades are good. It's left all onto Sayf. In this 1v2, both players on opposite sides of the wall. So he does have a good opportunity to actually isolate the fight. We're seeing more and more of the stinger. I feel like KC are one of the teams that really brought that home. cNed, well, he's the only one who hits headshots in the back with the pistol.
That Breeze game, wow.
Yeah, he was pretty good with the ghost, pretty good. And we are happy to see him back on the jet. Now this is a map where, as I said, FUT haven't been playing it recently, but it's been a little bit rough. Oh, nice work though from a couple of the players. Even still, I don't think this round is going to fall apart, but a little bit messy. The relief has been tasted.
At last. Long as he waited. Yeah, Sayf, he will do a fantastic job to get even more damage.
Sort of had the gap. Sayf investing straight away into an Odin over on the A site. But the pressure's on the other side. The flash is so good. The ceNder actually comes out with 2. Completely blind. Even still, though, they're going to get the res off. Nobody actually able to deny that.
That flash was qRaxs, though. That was
so good for Vitality.
Yeah, that's...
Did he blind himself completely?
He flashed it off the wall, and then it bounced off the other wall instead of going around the corner.
Damn.
Blinded himself. See, stood there with a nade in hand.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt that had to come out of an opponent. There you go. That's a pretty good flash, though. That one was from him. And it is going to be taken down yetujey. Well, on the other side of things, qRaxs with another. Leaving just 2 standing from these positions. They've been so good, and the retakes just haven't been there. Sayf now retaking with an Odin.
Beginning to this map, they have that little bit of congestion in the previous round. They have the flash out of qRaxs here.
He threw the worst so much flash value. Ever, and then a pretty good flash.
Yeah. But then he recovered, right? And that's what it's all.
What?
That's kind of BS, cNed. I don't want to see any more of that.
Mainly used to just set Runner up. It means they can kind of gamble rotations elsewhere. The timing, though, may not be there. A lot of counter utility being used. Sayf looked like he wanted to try and gamble TP across, but I guess judgment has been there not to. It means that the afterplant's almost free. Like, there's players here from Vitality, but they just haven't been able to do anything to deny FUT that space.
Here.
And now they're just going to have to go for the full retake. Now, they've got a lot of ults. Lockdown available, but it does seem like FUT are very ready for that.
Yeah, the short players don't need to look anywhere else with their back being held by yetujey. It's just forward looking at this choke point as players emerge, but they actually walked into it. Walked into ceNder, and he's taken facing an eco after a round loss. Well, it would tell you it's a much closer game than the scoreline says. Oh my God. 3 kills from... Okay, we are going to need a replay of that, please. Because I'm not sure what that man has just done, but I don't think it should be allowed. That's ridiculous.
I said beginning of the map.
Shut up, Tom. Shut up. You saw
Maybe
this one.
MrFaliN's kind of good, you know?
How hard you been rubbing your head
to be
see
fair,
those visions?
He was doing that. It was short. He would push short and just pre-fire spam through on defender side. I think he's going to do that when we get onto the defense, but that's a little bit more ridiculous than what I was expecting.
I mean, it was so quick, and it's a player on short, and then we got on a guy. Two of you, look at this. Okay, kill is reasonable. That's not even close to reasonable.
He deserves
don't really
3
care
assists.
when a guy just comes through and does stuff like that. Bladestorm's not gone well. Kicks at least trades. They're still pushing. They're still pushing on the back of the Hunter's Fury. But, oh, it's worked out well. Yeah. They've got the kills and they've retreated. I was worried they'd continue to aggress, but Sayf grabs that one and he bails.
Yeah, it went all right in the end. I do think maybe the Hunter's Fury was a little bit mistimed. I think because it's the peak of runner in front of when the Hunter's Fury, because it seemed like that was the plan. Maybe they were just using him as a distraction, but either way, they've got the advantage in this scenario. That was the main thing. yetujey versus Sayf could decide the round. I think Sayf knows it, but he has support from trexx. And now it's left all on to AtaKaptan. Again, this man,
30 seconds
maybe one of the happiest outside of the server, but he definitely strikes fear into the heart of many when it comes to within it. Shock darts, they've been close. He's just trying to bait them into a fight. Wrapping back round, I think they've definitely heard him. It would be a miracle to get the ults flip. You've got qRaxs at least, but he's on the wrong side of the map for where this push is looking to come through. With the lockdown taking over the backside, they're already going to know that there's a couple of players back here as well. The due diligence of FUT nigh on perfect, and the amount of times we're looking at the 30-second mark on the round, and they're already going to have themselves in an afterplant position, handing it over to qRaxs as well, so he's going to get that null command online and be able to deny any utility for them on the way in.
Nowhere to run!
Now the Hunter's Fury is going to be called in from quite far away, from downtown, one could say. An opportunity with the spam landing on cNed. yetujey falling. Okay, there's a real chance for Vitality. In fact, it looks like they're pretty heavily favored. They've got an idea where MrFaliN is after the Hunter's Fury earlier. They're just going to be holding this for the walk back out. No way, surely, for MrFaliN to repeat his previous antics. And isolating these duels is impossible. Instead, he wins the race. Yeah, you like that? A few more. Oh, nice for Sayf. Great reveal. Good follow-up, and he's out with the teleport as well. Faced mid for a second, but cNed's ire had faced the other way. Oh, nice trade back by qRaxs through the smoke, but it's only one. It's still a 3v4.
Yeah, again, once the advantage has been in Vitality's favor, that's normally when these retakes start to swing back. Interestingly, cNed is still back towards the spawn. Oh, he does have his Bladestorm if he needs it.
Get out of my way.
Gonna try and get a little bit of info with this dart just over the corner. Paranoia already sent through, and we'll leave a couple of players blind. They've got to be careful of the door. Sayf already picking off one through it. cNed so low on HP is left onto qRaxs. Troublesome. Oh, he's about to be pressured. That first shot should be easy, and I don't think they're going to get him on the follow-up. No, he'll escape and even go back for a little more.
Well, the turret's come back online now, but it's not going to do much. Yeah, there's a player in main. I think they already knew that. Making their way down. You're not going to see the nano destroyed either. Good wall bang from cNder. They knew the players were around that area thanks to the nano being broken, and they're able to fire back with the wall bangs. Damage onto qRaxs as well. Just left. 61 HP, and now they try to capitalize on the side of FUT. They have a little bit of space. It's for yetujey to try to get value out of it. It's not good enough to just get that control and find a plant in a 5v3, Tom. We heard it in the interview earlier. This is something in these positions and these disadvantages where you have to take risks.
Yeah, the steps are going to be hard, but it seems like they're already checking for these aggressive positions. Well cleared by qRaxs and AtaKaptan. Not the corner you want to be trying to clear. qRaxs again, normally good for 3 kills, but this would have to be the best of them. The flash through is already going to be pinged up. A second solid dart. Manages to land the headshot onto trexx though. Definitely making things interesting. I think he's already heard the steps, and then getting a little closer. Another one found for qRaxs. And on 11 HP, he's got to be so careful here. Fragment to try and clear onto the spike. It's just not the shots being connected at the moment by Runner. That shorty really isn't doing it, and he's going to have to try and break that door, try and bait him into this fight. He's coming out with that operator, but I think at this point, qRaxs already knows that he's won it. Not even scared of it. He'll get that 1v4. He gets 3 kills and then dies and still wins. It's just ridiculous.
I don't know how as well, because I look at those fights and there are 2 players facing him. Not here because it was a 2v1, but up until then, they always had backup. They always had
defense. As said, he is disrespectful more than most. AtaKaptan's in a bit of an awkward position. He doesn't even get a chance to use the paranoia. Completely surrounded here. Support not really there, at least for now. yetujey, well, he's completely blinded by the flash from qRaxs. In the 3 versus 5, expectations are that Vitality have this one. A couple of good trades, making things at least a little bit closer. cNed still standing and healthy, but he's now left alone. 3 players to find.
Wisely thinks there could be somebody trying to creep their way up behind, but, well, that's cleared out. He'll instead use this new position to try to catch them off guard, but more than ready for the fight. The right click tags him low. The shot has actually been, this whole season, unbelievable. Some of it's been so smart, especially the breeze plays. Hello! That's a fantastic play for cNed, and yeah, you know, not a bad flash by cRaxs. Who would have seen that coming?
Okay.
Not cNed.
Trade back, though, and that actually gives them a road straight onto the A side. They won't know it as of just yet, and MrFaliN should be there in time. Drone actually being used up close, and I don't know if it's actually going to reach to clear out MrFaliN. They opt to go underneath instead. MrFaliN may just look to try and find one. Has a drone of his own, but ultimately they're going to have to try and peek off of this. Has managed to attack, but all of the players stuck around that generator at the moment. MrFaliN isolated on his own. Wasn't able to get anything done, and the paranoia is going to leave cNed completely blind as well. The counter utility looking fantastic, but they still have to be careful. cRaxs now, the last one left, and they're going to make it a play-in. Now with trexx, an initial loss, and then a resurgence. They've got to be careful, though. Again, the reads from FUT are nigh on spot on. They've got the whole of their team surrounding this site. yetujey, the youngster, has found a couple already, and this is looking deadly, dangerous for the side of Vitality. Not really the time you wanted to sort of have a blip on the radar, but finally trexx will find a response. But look at the HP. They're waiting for AtaKaptan. He's got the SMG, but he's actually going to lose that fight. And that gives an opportunity. Unfortunately, in the meantime, the spike has been dropped. He's going to have to run back and get this. It basically just comes down to him getting the kills at this point, because anything more, and he's going to run out of time, and cRaxs knows it as well. He falls back.
I don't think it will catch him in this corner. In fact, I think that's why yetujey's repositioned to this spot, noticing that and allowing them to crunch in afterwards. That the util does go down, and so too does AtaKaptan. cNed on the way through the smoke, and a lightning fast reaction to keep it equal.
Puts them into a 3v3, but the third player of FUT is desperately far away. cNed about to be pressured. They actually peek him together. Is forced to fall back. Maybe just going to wait that time a little bit. Now there is still the Hunter's Fury available for MrFaliN. He's going to pop it immediately. I wonder if there'll be some sort of counter. Well, never mind. cRaxs again. He's been so good in these sort of scenarios, and well, cNed will be there.
On the way back, though, we can see it wasn't too much easier. And you know, the beautiful thing about this is low buy, but there are some rifles here. There's some potential.
Yeah, ult's also not in a bad spot, but that's not the start they were looking for. Runner has been having a rough time. Many do when they face up against this man. And looking to farm up those eco frags. Still got a very long way if he's going to catch up to cRaxs, who is a mile ahead of anybody, but well, give this man individual fights, and normally he wins them all. trexx, again, has been able to deny him. It's going to pick up a rifle as well. So I have to be careful not to overface this one, but the trade again from cRaxs is sublime.
Oh, there's the steps as well. It's giving it away. He's found the first, but there is a flank still. yetujey close to the B site, and he will confirm that that plan's coming in just a moment. But I think the main thing is that you're kind of expecting these players to be much further away, certainly to be coming from spawn, not to be walking down this alleyway, not to be in this, but they've got everything else online. That's going to be tough.
Well, MrFaliN even has an Odin on the A site. Is it the most orthodox place to play it?
Yeah.
No.
Perfect. Perfect position. He's spamming a smoke with the most traceable weapon in the game. Well, got more chances to hit you than you do to hit him, I suppose.
Again, they do very interesting things, but a lot of the time it seems to work. And Vitality, as of right now, don't seem to have a response. Stuck behind the smoke. There's currently an Odin and an op spamming bullets through the smoke. Oh, what do you even do at that point? You go, well, I should be able to win this fight. I should be able to work out where he is and trace it. They've actually re-smoked it themselves, but a bit deeper so they can just try and get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what's going to leave a pretty good chance. And this, what do you do? What do you do?
That's the only one that wasn't through a smoke.
Absolutely came online. Even kicks one away from getting his own, but FUT definitely not shy in terms of response power, and so
they'll try and wall back anything.
Literally,
like, genuinely anything.
This team is disgusting in all the best ways.
Oh, a minute left. Vitality to come up with something. They've had these ults for the last 2 rounds, not really been in a position to use them. I think that was why he was actually A-Heaven. He was going to spam that if they used the lockdown, but they haven't been able to use the lockdown. And again, it's not even him this time. It's AtaKaptan. TP in. I think he's just TP'd straight into the ground. Like that was not the idea. That's gone wrong, as is everything else. He's just roaming the site. Finally, he's been put down by trexx, but the pop flash is perfect again, and there's AtaKaptan. 5 different types of utility that can be thrown in, so we'll see that from Vitality's attack side. This, though, from FUT's, very direct, but already off the bat, you're seeing some of that denial.
Yeah, wall in from FUT to allow them to get some space and drop that plant down. Looks like they will be uncontested in it as time ticks on and Spike hits floor. Vitality have to fight their way back through. Dizzy's going to be fantastic for clearing those closer corners. That's going to be point of contact to get them out. It's already through the choke point. Here comes the retake. Now, no flash, sorry, 1 flash still on trexx. They could get close to that screen and try to play through it. And there it is. Actually, a flash coming out of FUT. That was qRaxs to allow them to re-peek through. cNed trying to get the angle around the side, and as they drop down to deal with him, it's an awkward fight. But when that trexx cleans up inside of, Snakebite denies the plant for now, or denies the defuse for now at least, but the HP is so low, they have to take a fight to deny this next string of defuses, and it's just a bullet needed to take. Barring MrFaliN has full shields, it will take 2 shots, and there you go. 2 ring out, and both find their mark, but the trade is quick.
Yeah, an immediate trade. Again, in a bonus round like this, damage can be huge. And well, that one doesn't have a trade about it. cNed having to take more of a dry peek, and yetujey can't really afford to just sort of swing in. A lot of what they're going to be playing with here revolves around his wall to get them into afterplants. Those afterplants looking very unlikely. Safe low, but another battle won, and well, they've still got this outlaw just raining true from the backlines. Now yetujey left completely alone. Nobody even bothering to come in on the flank. I think they just want to try and group up, make sure they fight him together. And to come out of this one with a victory is going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, beautiful value by Runner in this round. All the kills found, 2 already, and the 3rd not going to be achieved this time. Shot missed, and yetujey punishes immediately. 30 seconds to get that spike planted. 11
30 seconds left.
And 45 HP. Some of these Vitality players, in fact, the ones close on the site, are hurting, but they've got the numbers to work with. Knowing he has to plant this spike, it's a moment before the flash comes through. It's dodged, though! Jack has decided to be merciful this time, instead following a shock dart that did land, and it was destroying the turret on mid, causing these players to look back in the other direction, and as they do, FUT storm the B site. The wall down to try to capitalize on yetujey's close position. He has a res. He'll be able to res himself if he goes down. He might be able to punish. Oh, beautiful utility from Vitality. Now this has forced the planter back and killed him. It has left players on the site back behind yellow. For everything that Vitality know, at this point, there's been nobody stepping close, nobody taking advantage of that space. And as the wall goes up, this is the one position that wall doesn't help you get to. They will not clear it on the way through, instead leaving yetujey with a world of value to be found. Only 2 picked up, leaving cNed alone. qRaxs is on the floor, spotting him, watching him, and seeing that diffuse, the chance for cNed to swing in and punish, but he baits him off the spike, and now time becomes the biggest issue in this clutch. They might flash through this, they might, but you're not thinking there's a guy already in that corner. And that's the big deal for FUT in that round. They found that small little window. And, well, good shock dart. It did damage just to his teammate. It's okay, though, because cNed survives and falls back to the site where the plant will be coming through. Mosh pit on its way, and that will cause problems. MrFaliN, though, has plenty of time to plant and escape.
Thrash through. A Hunter's Fury in combination, but it's actually been removed. A good use of the null command from the side. But Vitality, Showstopper still available for them, and they are winning all of the fights. Little bro already on that defusal as well. Has to be denied, and it will be, but it's too little too late. MrFaliN now left to try and fight versus everyone over on that Vitality side, and they're even going to
online. That will make it even harder to take those closer range positions and to hold on to that control after Spike has gone down. FUT, though, only a matter of time before we see a more aggressive face out of this squad so far. Every fight they've gone for seems to swing towards Vitality. They had their one round with a player, a snake in the grass. Outside of that, conventional play has not worked. Bladestorm, opportunity, and not landed to start with, and now Vitality are cautious. They know cNed's out there hunting, and they'll cancel the blades.
Yep, and now comes all of that utility straight away. Wingman's going to spot the guy underneath. And trexx already traded out to yetujey, still trying to play within these corners. Nice shot, has to be careful from behind, and Sayf will trade. One of the better opportunities. cNed just about grabs a gun, but he's so low on HP, and it's going to be left all onto AtaKaptan. Keeping things even for now, but he's on 18 HP, needs an immediate shot. In a position to really do any damage, so that's at least something. They've been able to finally use that res. I think he was also spotted, so they've been able to flash him over the top. That was a jump peek from the rope to see him.
Well, it won't be used to push them out of the pit, instead to push them out of the A site. The lockdown has come in from Sayf, and FUT have left that choke point. Now cNder's got the info. Oh my, risks are being taken. Confirmed it. And eventually he'll fall all the way back, playing this B side hold. Orb was up by the attackers, but that's actually allowed Sayf to reposition back towards B that little bit quicker. The thing is, we can see on the minimap where FUT are. There's one player watching for that push-up on B, trying to punish further information gathering. The rest of the squad... Oh, the pit was even used on B! With 30 seconds left, they put it down and rotate immediately. cNder's already on the way. They know this, that this is an A play. They try to bait them in.
Yeah, it might not necessarily matter. Sayf, though, has done well. An immediate trade from yetujey. Definitely been one of the better players. Kick still lurking around the backlines. Hasn't been spotted, but qRaxs is holding for it. And while cNder, his pit used, but
two players there.
Well, also, it's like, I don't think FUT even paid attention. Again, we're going to see an opener go the way of FUT, starting to find those kills, and cNed having that operator definitely seems like a difference maker. Runner going down in back-to-back rounds. I'll be honest, he can be forgiven for the last one. I think he got a little bit unlucky with how they spotted him over the top. Pressure though onto trexx. He's been their best player so far, though.
Silva flash on qRaxs. I expect it to be burned up on the way through, and it is, but trexx still able to find value. Great follow-up. trexx and kicks fall. That was qRaxs' flash that slowed them down in the fight.
It was you
pushing back out and taking the space up on that catwalk. And there's been a few pieces like that for FUT where they are just trained in and ready now. Oh, I was going to say it's tough to be ready for that position, but evidently not. yetujey was looking for that fight, clearing it with intention. trexx up top could get the element of surprise, but that flash is perfect from qRaxs. And, well, the trade is traded right back. Not with violence, but the resurrect. And so 5 versus 3, despite that pick, Vitality still way behind.
Again, the fight's been given a good read from the side of FUT. Now they need to try and find themselves back from a disadvantage. Surprisingly, AtaKaptan not able to do too much there. And we are actually going to see thrax committed. Oh, wow, that has not got anywhere near the amount of value that qRaxs was hoping for. He is going to be able to get one on yetujey, but the rest are slowly surrounding it on him, or at least on one player.
Yeah.
And sure, okay, keep giving for those fights. They're going to take it all day long. That's been a big part of the resurgence. This time, they are playing a bit more passive again. MrFaliN, I don't think this Hunter Series is going to get too much, at least a tag. They know the qRaxs is there.
Yeah, that cNder tagged low.
Right here.
The ultimate used on the other side. trexx has popped his null command to try to cancel out some of these abilities, but Viper's pit is already online, and as they try to go above it, they meet cNed's operator. Down goes qRaxs, down goes cNed. Okay, it's workable. Crazy aggression coming out of MrFaliN. The reveal as well. Oh, it's nasty. What's that shot? Shorty!
Majority of the team. It has to be infuriating being on the other side of that, because it is genuinely...
It's 10 seconds to refresh. That is insane. How quick... I hate this guy with a classic. Oh, it's giving me nightmares already, and that's why he'll do this against a full buy. When you've got pistols, he does not feel fear. Oh, no. The spike on the ground and a 6-1 lead for Vitality. 5-0. And now they're facing against FUT retaking the lead before they even make it off that 6-round mark. What a devastating start. And another example of why AtaKaptan cannot be allowed to buy anything on a pistol round. Just give the man a classic.
Yeah, he's actually taken 0 damage.
He's taken damage to himself.
He's now taken damage. He has now taken damage. That's good. That's at least something. Sayf.
30 seconds
He's
left.
got 30 seconds. Now, if he was to double back towards the A site full sprint, maybe a moment ago, he would have made it. And actually, I think that might be what they're starting to question. Or just looking at plant denial. Walking out, he's going to be spotted eventually. And they are just grouping up. Like, how he gets a plant from here, I have no idea. A nice shot, at least. Sayf will give things away. There's a couple there. And, okay, cNder! He's managed to find a high-impact double already.
Spike planted.
Plant down, too. They can tuck in. No need to swing into these longer range angles. B-side definitely didn't work for FUT, but it looks like they've got something special on the side of Vitality, not looking to give them 7 in a row. They'll keep that record. Flashback. Yellow challenge on the back of the flash. It's not great. It's caught cNed, and he's blinded up by the Dizzy 2. The swing easy for trexx, and now it's all on the
crowd. That's such a huge victory. I want to see this from cNed. That is filth. I think the second bullet just put in for fun even goes back on a free kill. Yeah, much further angle, but cNed still here.
Spike down, B.
A quick trade to start. Spike was dropped, but actually, I like this. I like this from FUT. They knew that they dropped that spike, but they immediately start running back to the A side. They think their opponents are going to assume a stack up, and so they can put everybody in position on this side of the map. Some spam shots connected, but AtaKaptan standing for the moment. Even still, though, 40 seconds left, and qRaxs is still waiting here, hiding in the background. The nade is not going to clear him. He's still just lurking in the corner. A kill comes in for cNed. It's a nasty surprise for trexx. It's happening again, bitch. Still, though, 2 weapons in the hands of their opponent. qRaxs shouldn't be able to get anything. It's left all on to 1.
We might just be about to find out why.
He doesn't even have his dash.
Reveal, I think, only caught 1 player. And as they turn to look at it, we see the timing of cNder sneaking through. That's AtaKaptan down. The defense now has a massive hole in it towards that mid angle. And pressure on for cNed. They could just push behind him, execute him. Oh, and he pushed in front of him instead, an angle he clearly wasn't expecting.
No, an uncharacteristic miss. I expected him to hit it. I know it's still a huge reaction shot, but it's cNed. And now what was around that was looking bleak for Vitality sits in an afterplant. Still got a snake bite. Still got a mosh to play with, so it's going to have to be the clear out. Close angles are gone. They're not going to fall for their own trickery. But you can see the util already starting to be expended. qRaxs putting out that mosh. And they need to find something quick. cNder with his 3rd of the round. He has taken over this one.
Oh, I'm surprised to even see MrFaliN move back in this direction. He wants to pick up that weapon, but with 15 HP, he might have to forgo it. It's being watched, but Runner is, by the looks of it, going to give his life for it. He wants to hunt MrFaliN down. He'll get the chance. Hello. It's one of the more awkward.
Sayf is just like, if I don't move, I'm invisible. I am invisible.
Yeah, it is interesting. You get pop flash and just stand there. They probably won't peek off that. That's exactly. You might not know. It's exactly where he wanted the slow to go. No question about it. Lucky for yetujey going down. qRaxs is under pressure. The nade is not going to stop them from wrapping up close. The thrash is destroyed, but
ow!
So he's still alive, and he's doing damage as well. But as cNed goes into trade, he goes out of the round just afterwards. Okay, it's winnable again.
Yeah, they're not going to fall for kitchen. That's for sure. If there's any angle that FUT are going to be checking, it's around there. Runner 1 away from a showstopper. A kill on either player will end this round. Or most likely at least. And there's so many angles to check. With how aggressive they already managed to get Mosh onto the spike. Runner gets that kill. Nade, I don't even think he's going to need to use anything more. No necessity of that showstopper. Still comes down to the 1v1, but the time is gone. It's ticking too far. AtaKaptan.
It looks like that's what FUT are playing for, Tom. They've kept their credits for the next round.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
We've seen them do a lot with less.
Sayf's mid lurk hasn't worked.
Yeah, they still have a rifle as well in the hands of AtaKaptan, which has just found another. This is already starting to look pretty dangerous. Again, some of these just hyper-aggressive angles that FUT take in these sort of rounds have caused plenty of problems. The thing I worry about, though, is if this gets into an after plant, because we've seen Vitality, they've been sublime in those positions.
I think even more so with a pit and a showstopper. Mosh pit and nade already used up. Those snake bites will be online. Getting back in here with the pistols would be tough, but they've gone running in! And now the spike's down in the open. They'll have to step into it to try and retrieve it. And cNed's just waiting for his opportunity to pick them up. Down below.
Oh, he got hit by the drone.
And the drone catches. Throw them out like it's candy, but they can get value from it sometimes. yetujey! Oh no! It looked like the timing was almost spot on.
Yeah, now they're in the same problem they've had before. Mid-control, completely given up. And you best believe cNder is not stopping. They're trying to focus in on the rest, and because of that, they're going to get flanked. We've seen this too many times already. cNed does well.
Spike planted.
He makes things very interesting indeed. This round should have been done and dusted. trexx spamming
on
2 HP.
with such little HP, and AtaKaptan takes out qRaxs. It leaves a 2 HP trexx to try and fight versus 2 members. One of them desperately low, no utility to play with, and he's not going to be
Dizzy just now taken back, looking at 37 on the clock. When that flash comes through, we saw trexx though. He was going to use one of his flashes earlier, but he saved it. They waited, biding their time. They have to be cautious here. On the way through, that wall is going to be aggressed on. Nice angle, but cNed gets nothing for it. He is out quickly with the dash, but it looks like the plant will be coming through relatively uncontested. As the little guy gets the job done. A 5 versus 5 post plant, showstopper in back pocket, and no flank underway. Vitality seem to have this one set up for success.
The showstopper might not be available at the moment. No command has been used. Run against one, but the showstopper's gone. Trades, though, are good. It's going to leave the remaining players very passive, but they are holding their ground, winning their fights. Nobody on that defusal yet. Nice work, though, from MrFaliN. As they're already getting flanked on, though. Again, it's that backline that causes them issues. Already, though, on that defusal, and it's going to be trexx. Oh, the knife connecting. Aggressive positioning. Showstopper, not actually going to finish off qRaxs. He will survive. yetujey is just going to try and wall them off. Potentially try and get the heal for his teammate. Maybe not. Actually just playing around the edge of it. A little bit of a risk. He's going to take the heal himself. He might need it. He's going to be spammed into the open with the nade. Well, it may have taken a little bit longer than they would have liked, but Vitality have got that opener.
They have it locked in. AtaKaptan 1 away from a Viper's pit. A valuable pick to be found if he can land one shot on the way through. But there's plenty of players, and even finding that kill doesn't mean you'll be able to use that ult if they trade you out right away. Knife up and over, moving to the B side, clearing out a lot of that close laneway. But the push is about to come through here, and that's an isolated fight, but the spams back do the damage.
Yeah, that was a firing squad on the other side waiting for him. cNed now wary of mid, but it's actually the main avenue of B, which is going to be under pressure. cNed has to go absolutely huge here, trying his best to dodge the flash. A crazy shot onto qRaxs. That's at least something. Wingman has been sent out, but he's going to be able to deny it. 20 seconds on that clock, but already a player going for that plant. You can see the swing from MrFaliN. A nice initial shot, and he almost manages to line up two. trexx desperately low. Shock dart's going to be placed in towards runner. He's been difficult to clear from this position, but they're still wary. There might be a second player coming in from behind, yet to spot qRaxs' position. He still has a fair bit of utility, left completely blinded, at least for a second. They've got to get towards this MrFaliN again. He's looking to keep them in, and that is actually going to force him into the open. The shot connected, and he hasn't managed the other. The runner will do it all!
From FUT for mistakes to be made. They haven't been, so now they've got to force their own mistakes, and they've done a great job at that. cNder, another lights out round from him, right off rip here on Sunset, leaving yetujey against the world. 3 players, they're coming towards him, but this is a big fight for him to try and win.
Yeah, even stopping the plant will be difficult. Oh, 1 HP! qRaxs is so lucky to be alive.
Spike planted.
I don't even know what stopped that from being the kill. It must have been the slightest pixel of the wall, but there now needs to be so much more! He is on at the moment. yetujey feeling it already within this clutch scenario. He's going to try and reposition again. The main thing against him, though, is going to be that clock. the time starting to tick down. Spots out trexx, takes a lot of damage himself. Down to just 20 HP. Bear in mind, his opponents are still very close to death, but he's not going to clear
zero. And a pistol could be so valuable, and so long as they can follow up on it. The opening pick was found by the deadlock, and that's about the only compliment we'll have for it. And again, I think the issue being, you wall up on B main, and then you wait. And that's all this was.
Just up top mid, with a cam alongside it. Definitely a decent amount of information they can get, although I believe it's already been broken, so they know there's players here. The paranoia is fantastic with MrFaliN still able to hit the shot. Second flash, though, and utility forcing them forward. qRaxs, though, he's done an amazing job. Splitting him from behind, has found a couple. And now for qRaxs and Sayf. I'll look to take this one together.
Yeah, poor MrFaliN kind of got left behind on that strategy. cNed bailed to sight. MrFaliN's the sacrificial lamb, and they're trading. I did not expect very much to be found by that Thrash, or the Thrash to be used at all in this round, unless it was a serious opportunity. It hasn't been really connecting onto anything. You can see the information was that cNed's in the corner, but he doesn't even have a reason to move. Although he does. He does move in the end, and he goes down. An opportunity now. They've isolated AtaKaptan too, and taken him. 2 versus 2. Weapons to be retrieved, but that's tough. Sides. The other thing cannot be said for, the same thing rather cannot be said for Vitality. Much slower, running it down the last few seconds. They've eventually hunted down yetujey, but there's a few more players here to stand and fight. MrFaliN, 50 HP, but he stands strong. Now has ult online and will just about make it out alive. qRaxs going in for the plant and has found it. So that was the little guy going in for it. MrFaliN tries to get a position around side, possibly to pop the ult, but instead goes down to Sayf. Now the info's there. And in fact, Thrash is going to be used by FUT to try to claim some space. It's clearing out market and not seeing them at all, but they know Sayf must have fallen back, so AtaKaptan fills the space. Does well to land that shot, and now the defuse begins. It's not on the normal angle, but somehow ceNder has just attracted the crosshair to the head of his opponent, and another found, leaving it into the 1v1. As cNed fires back, qRaxs is left alone. It's almost half, but not quite. Just about pulled off the spike at the wrong time, and now cNed has to go running. The round is no longer winnable as Vitality claim their third. Maybe MrFaliN's got some great post-plant trips, or traps, I suppose I should call them, not trips. yetujey's got none of those to work with if he's being dropped, and so too is AtaKaptan. MrFaliN doing just that, and it's a 2 versus 5. Blink. And you'll wonder why the hell there's a clutch being offered up for FUT. Seconds ago, this was an even matchup, and now it seems like we might be looking at another save for that defense. Already stepping forward, the wall up, the post plant setup inside of main. 5 players still alive. The Thrash very much online, not even needed.
No, it's second use already, and while say regular programming. Showstopper immediately thrown in. trexx has got to feel unlucky for that one. And cNed's more than ready for the response.
Oh, they've got to be frustrated. Surely cNed goes down now. Yes, eventually, but the cost is still paid. yetujey trades it out through the smoke. ceNder's being lit as well in that interaction, down to 32 HP. And FUT, they've got success lined up for them. This trap, heard. Sayf knows it's around, but he's going to creep past it. Cam spots him, tries to run away, gets caught by the stun and swung by AtaKaptan. There's... Hey, you got another Sentinel. Don't worry about it.
Nonetheless, this round looking a lot better. For the most part, it's just annoying for runner. And you'd expect that maybe that's where that showstopper will be used. So if he goes blasting through into the site, it could be a little bit problematic. Unfortunately, though, not really going to be anything found whatsoever.
That's a devastating Viper's Pit too. Yeah, the null command got them out on site, cancelled MrFaliN and yetujey's utility. Viper's Pit goes down towards short. So Vitality have got full control. And it's not even the Viper fighting, which again, pet peeve when you see a Viper up close taking those duels. Instead, it's Runner who's going to be point of contact. He's spraying through, doing damage, even popping his showstopper here. The guy is crazy, and he actually won't find any value on this side of the pit. He goes looking on the other, and the rocket goes through, finds nothing but damage. A little bit. The time is running down, the sprays are landing so much value. And even Sayf's gone running out of the pit because the time is so low. It's ticking over, the spike is soon to explode, and cNed's trying to keep them contained, keep it costly. So far we have just seen...
Big fan of Annihilation.
I love it. Love it. The spike planted for free that's keeping more guns up in hands and ready to fight when they come to site executes, and that Dizzy down and out of the round. They lose a lot. They make up for it with cNed, and well, MrFaliN was waiting. A clean punish, and they still have these traps to deal with on the way through. They've destroyed one. Paint Shell's doing a fantastic job to at least get them onto site.
Yeah, looking like they may even try and aggress a little bit more. In these sort of scenarios, a risk somewhat needs to be taken. We haven't seen much from the grab net thus far. Combined with a flat, MrFaliN is just hitting everything. It's his third kill of the round already. Sayf, at least, trying to put up a bit of a miracle here. Gets his third.
With these teams, they win a bunch of rounds, and it goes right back in the other direction. We end up neck and neck, and it also feels strange in terms of the breathing of the map of the series. Great attempts. The side of FUT, they still have those ultis to fall back on. Again, you know, it's not going to help out a ton. When it comes to AtaKaptan or yetujey, MrFaliN could be situational, but there's a showstopper online for cNed now. MrFaliN stays alive in the corner as well. Not going to be caught up by the thrash and stun. No, that's a beautiful cocoon indeed. I don't think they're going to break that, and if they do, MrFaliN's waiting to punish Runner down and out. And they still haven't managed to make it out this choke point with yetujey on the other side. Beautiful crossfire and beautiful execution from this FUT side.
Most of their success. Thrash available though. Instead, they're going to use that Mosh immediately and just spam straight through. Nothing that trexx can do about that. Again, Runner's got ahead of the utility. And yetujey may be overplaying his hand a little bit. Wanted to try and get close into that corner. It's problematic for MrFaliN. He needs the kill and just about survives. And now he's going to go through with the shorty. Catches another. Sayf down, and everyone will fall
as well. It's going to let Vitality walk up and B main and take a lot of control. So you can see FUT are much more hesitant to clear those angles
Sayf
out.
Again.
And the bait setup, absolutely beautiful. One player running back and Sayf swinging through to save the day. 2 quick kills, and this round is definitely in Sayf hands.
It's going to take ages to break this, isn't it?
Spike planted.
They can just break the one on the right and get out, but actually, they can just walk around it. That's a little gap. cNed, he's going to get hurt. yetujey already tagged low. MrFaliN sat in the backlines. They've got to be wary as well of where AtaKaptan is going to be coming from. Time still fairly favorable. Vitality have plenty to play with, but they lose that first duel. MrFaliN is trying his best. If utility has been expended, the flash over the top will be renewed. It's well timed as well. That is perfect. A couple of assists. yetujey found some space, but trexx just running left and right. And now cNed, normally the first man to fight, is now in a 1v4.
It's so weird, Tom, to just look at this FUT composition on this map, because we talk a lot about teams and I will absolutely applaud them for trying something new. But yeah, conclusions seem pretty apparent.
cNed. And then hit them with the showstopper. The showstopper somewhat connected. Straight away. Now on the other side, and it's immediately denied. Trexx again. He is just thriving in this defensive side. yetujey looking for a timing. He almost finds it, but Sayf's reactions are just too fast. The remaining players stuck behind the smoke. Nothing they can do from this point onwards, and well, this duo of trexx and Sayf has been devastating. The newest signing to the Vitality roster. And well,
over there,
it is looking like a good one.
I do, look, if they can get to the A site, this could be a more difficult round than expected for Vitality. Still 2 sonic sensors, post-plant around the spike, that can do a lot. Ult as well, wall 2, and 1 less player. And 2 less players. So now it's just AtaKaptan, and I'm going to say this is going to be about as easy as you expect.
Well, they attempt to take, again, coming in with weaker weapons, but it's still these solo fights. I feel like the counter utility every time they've attempted anything has been fantastic. And well, the trades have been even better.
I know.
Okay. yetujey's done a pretty good job with just the Sheriff in hand. Information as well as they start to spot some of these players, and he'll just lurk it out on mid. Plan to come through. Sonic sensors in play, either side. One catching the walk up. I do think his left one's a little aggressive, but It could catch them as they make noise, and yeah, the wall goes up back left to the side. It's an annoyance. They only need to break one leg of it to get through, but it's really yetujey. How much can he do? They're not going to check it. If you go around that pillar, you're just wasting time. But here, oh no, that's not what you want to see, because this is Sheriff still in play for cNed ult for MrFaliN. If they can get this close, it could be so winnable for the squad of FUT. It could keep them alive. In a round where they didn't look like they had that much of a chance.
I can only assume he's going to try and save it for the spike, but he's been caught. Been done for surely. cNed though lands both shots. He's given them a way into this. The time is ticking, the nade already onto it. And I think it's too far gone. He's already managed to win the round even.
I should have. I didn't. My mistake. Vitality, 4 rounds ahead. Keep in mind as well for Vitality, Gentlemates, gientx, and Koi. That's the remaining games. Relatively easy ones ahead of them, already in a good position in their group. yetujey though, oh, they haven't cleared the corner, and the lurk is sublime. It might not have worked out for him last round with the Sheriff, but a little cleaner with the rifle in hand.
He always seems to just have at least 1 or 2 a game where he do a little bit of extra damage. MrFaliN looks like he might be the one to peek him and taking any guns away. To be honest, from FUT more.
I've seen him cross over with the camera. Small gap in that wall that could lead to it. He's got a late lurk to play with. They fell walking into his play last time. Oh, the blind ult used to try to root out that Viper's pit. It hasn't worked.
No.
Vitality sit in position, but hold on. trexx had no idea where they were. qRaxs having slipped past him. Viper, or at least to stay alive if they go past him.
Yeah, he's been good in these scenarios. Oh, he's going to get the one and get out. It might not have been the cleanest. He doesn't even check. He walks in backwards. That is very surprising. I guess, I don't know how he didn't expect them to be that far already. Spam through, but that could be the critical kill. Nice work from Runner. Oh, another from qRaxs. They've turned it back on its head again. The spams is what done the damage. This man has been waiting the entire round, sitting in mid. The steps, I don't know if Sayf will have heard that. I don't think he did. He hasn't turned. Timing going to be absolutely everything here. The peak, it's a little bit disjointed, but they still don't know this man is behind. Both kills are here, and he's going to find them as well.
Found the one here last time, and then got blindsided by the push on site. This time, they're wise to it. They're giving him a moment.
He's a bit more careful.
Slightly, yeah. I wonder what caused that change in character.
He didn't run into the angle backwards.
I dropped the spike.
Now, AtaKaptan has taken a little bit of damage. Patient play. This time there's no lurk in mid, but it might even be just the doubt kicks. They need to be a little bit careful here. They are being wrapped on from all angles. cNed already in, but the duel's just going the way of FUT. And for the remaining players, a little bit further out of the action. Ults to play with as well, and an operator. Unless they get a kill very quickly, I'd be surprised if they continue this push.
And how are you going to entry right now? You're going to flash on trexx. You're going to blast pack in as Runner. Look at the traps. The sonic sensors are waiting for these players to make it towards the site. Once they take a step, once they make noise, the stone will come through. You're in a lot of danger. With yetujey waiting around the corner. Somehow they've got most of them, leaving it all on MrFaliN. His utility is no more, not to have impact. And, well, he can breathe a sigh of relief, but he will set up later.
Deep in the corner.
yeah, it landed this time, I'll tell you that. A showstopper used, and the right move from Vitality just to fall back, let that showstopper fizzle out, and now they played the post plant together. No ultis to work with for them, but MrFaliN grabbing the plant has found his, and yetujey is blocked out by the door closing. Oh! There was a gap there, almost as a bait, but trexx has found everything with it. This should be it. The flank denied means yetujey is coming around in main, and now is the last man standing. A 1 versus 4, and the flawless streak of FUT comes to an end. Vitality